Beep, 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 beep. Hello, peeps. It's another baking, sweltering, incredibly warm, hot day here at Chester Towers. But it's good to be speaking to you once again. Here. This is from a bit back, actually. It's from April, but I thought we'd put it at the front of today's rant because it's just fun, isn't it? This, believe it or not, right, is a guy called Patrick Roach, right, who's from the NASUWWT, which is one of the teaching unions. You know, these people that represent teachers, supposedly. And he's talking about what clarity that schools need on the Supreme Court ruling, right? Supreme Court ruling about the fact that men and women are men. Are they really this thick? Somebody's going to have to tell me. Are they really this thick that he thinks he needs clarity? He needs clarity on single-sex spaces. That's it. It's not complicated, right? Just keep spaces single-sex. Forget when somebody says that they're trans and non-binary is immaterial, right? They still don't get to do what they want to do. It's still single-sex. So just listen to what he's got to say. Listen.
I think there is clarity in the Supreme Court's decision in their ruling, but what there isn't is clarity about what the implications are for day-to-day policy and practice in our schools and colleges. And what we've said and what we're calling on the government to do is to bring that clarity to bear. Head teachers, the length and breadth of the country are now scratching their heads thinking, well, what does this mean for our setting? What does this mean for our school or for our college? Not just with regard to our students, but with regard to the workforce as well in our schools and colleges.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that strikes me as absolute cobblers from beginning to end. I mean, it could be me. It could be me. But this is what we're seeing. We've got, the women's pond. They're messing about. They're fanning about, going, actually, no, we have to get the trans and non-binary. No. When are people going to get this? We need a clarification on the clarification by the Supreme Court, and then we'll want a clarification on the clarification of the clarification of the Supreme Court. And once you've done that, what we'll do is ask for a clarification of the clarification of the clarification of the clarification of the Supreme Court. That's what's going to happen, because these people are useless, praxis-riddled idiots, right? Don't deserve our attention for 1 second. Cut it out. Men, single-sex spaces, male, female. That's it, right? Everything else is immaterial. Utterly immaterial. Okay? I don't understand why they don't get it. Leftism. That's what it is. I'll upset a few people. Is it leftism? I don't know. There's definitely something wrong with them, isn't there? Because, I mean, I watched somebody arguing on Twitter the other day about this as well. Yeah, just because a man is gay doesn't mean he won't sleep with a trans man. Yeah, it does. You know why? I have a secret. Trans men are women. That's why. And then they respond with, why are you so obsessed with genitals? And they're still doing it like it's, 2021. Absolute nut jobs and Fruit Loops, a lot of them. But this is what we're seeing. It's still going on. And then we've got some awful woman pretending to be a bloke, telling her kids about what would you say if I told you that I was born a woman? You're still a bloody woman, right? And you shouldn't be messing with kids' heads like that. Nobody should. Until we recognise that this whole damn thing is simply a red flag on every conceivable level, I can't see anything changing. They're rebranding DEI. They're doing this. Now, the good news is in America, in the Americals, that they're going after them with fraud charges. Yes. They're going after them with fraud charges, which I think is great. So I've done a little bit on that. I've been thinking about an article about that. I'll put it on Twitter later. Just a little bit about what could happen if we could actually use fraud charges. Because imagine fraud charges, if they get the medicals, the doctors and everybody else, it's going to open the floodgates. Because people who have been putting leaflets out saying, well, we're supportive of the trans and non-binary community and puberty blockers are perfectly reversible. And don't forget that you can always blah, blah, blah. And all the rubbish that comes with it, they've also been committing fraud. If one of them has been committing fraud, they've all been committing fraud. If I was a business right now, I'd be rolling up my sleeves and digging every last bit of the fetid EDI, DEI industry out of my business. That's what I'd be doing. But that's because I'm the kind of guy that would do that. Right, that's enough of this. We're changing direction. But HR, you're fired. Get him gone, I say. Anyway, that's enough. I've only got a light mull for you today. I'm in a light kind of mode. So there you go. Just a bit of a mull and a nut job. What more could you ask for? I'll see you later. Bye-bye.